So over a lifetime, the average person will literally spend about 9 years looking down on their phone. So you want to make sure that like throughout these 9 years, you're using that time productively. People don't realize how like crazy powerful the devices we carry are, how they can literally like change our lives based on how we use them. But growing up, I used these devices for the worst possible reasons. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I spent thousands of hours across video games from like GTA, NBA 2K, FIFA while I was growing up throughout my entire childhood. I used to use my phone non-stop in school, at home, everywhere. And every time I would use my phone, it was always just like watching random YouTube videos, whatever popped up, using all the social media algorithmic like addictions that they fed me, and basically just throwing all of my youth away almost. So you got to understand that we're literally playing against multi-billion-dollar corporations whose job is literally to addict the living hell out of you. It's been reported platforms like Facebook and Netflix, they literally test so many ways. They hire engineers paying them hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to test what makes people addictive. Every generation has its war, but our generation's war is one on attention. It's literally like the biggest asset to so many people right now. And there's a great quote that the way you live your life is the way you live your days. So are you someone who's just spending 5 to 7 hours a day like a lot of the zombies out there on just useless things on your phone? Imagine you spent these hours learning Arabic. Imagine you spent these hours memorizing. Where would you be like even a year from now? Not even that long from now, you'd be someone completely different. So how do you actually make this thing your friend and not your enemy over a lifetime? Some people say just completely transition to the trap phone, which is basically just a flip phone. However, I do see a lot of benefits in the modern smartphone. Obviously, you can do a lot of things with this. So I personally am not a fan of just like completely switching to the trap phone to become more productive. So let me show you how I optimize this thing so you don't get caught in those sessions of like doom scrolling and just wasting tons of time. So if we jump over to my phone, you can already see immediately that the home screen looks way different than the average home screen. And it also is in black and white. So there's multiple reasons for this, but starting off as to why the phone is black and white, one of the biggest temptations of your phone and all the apps is the fact of how colorful they are. And one of the best ways to dumbify your phone, and the quickest way is literally just one setting, is to go right here into settings, then you type in color filters, and then you should have this option of grayscale, and you can obviously toggle on and off. I personally am doing grayscale right now because I just found when I see all these colors and stuff like that, it just makes you much more tempted to unconsciously open an app that's like a time-wasting app or just spend too much time on your phone that's useless. Every second that's saved compounds over your lifetime. You want to make sure that you're doing every single like step possible. And next, you can see that I don't actually have any apps. And this is because, again, a lot of times people get stuck into like scrolling or something like that. It's because a ton of apps will just show up at once and you'll be like, you won't even be thinking, you won't even really be in the moment, and you'll just unconsciously click one, and there goes 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or 30 minutes or something like that. So I recommend deleting all the apps you don't really use like that, and then only keep the ones that obviously are essential. But on top of that, I moved mine over all the way 2 pages away to right here, as you can see. And the way you do this is you just hold your home screen and you click this plus at the top, and then you can add any widget, right? And this widget will create an extra page. So now instead of just opening your phone and seeing tons of apps, you have to scroll all the way 2 times before you see your like app library. And so they don't show up on your home screen. I personally downloaded this app called Dumb Phone, I think. There's that ones that might be paid, but there's other free ones like Minimalist Launcher or something like that. But if you just type in Dumb Phone on the App Store, tons of stuff like this will come up, and you can see how it's basically just oriented. So all of your apps, you can choose what apps you want to only see on your home screen. And you can see mine aren't really like addictive apps. Like I mainly put like Fold N Pro, WhatsApp, Telegram messages, basically just essentials that I always want to be reminded of when I open my phone. And on the dock, I always have these, right? So there's also an app called Block Site, which is very good for blocking websites. Like if you delete, for example, YouTube app or delete Snapchat app, sometimes you might go onto them on Safari. This blocks that. So when you type in YouTube on Safari, it'll basically just say going to this website or something like that. And you really want to stay away from most of the apps that have an algorithm within them, because those algorithm is literally designed to basically just keep you scrolling on the app or to keep you like staying on the app. You can see like most of the apps that I have on the homepage right when I open my phone is basically just like utility apps, right? So Maps, Messages, Fold N Pro, Gmail and stuff. You really want to stay away from things that have an algorithm in them, because that's like what causes a lot of the problems we're seeing now with phone usage. So that's how I've optimized my phone. Now let me show you how you can do this on your laptop too, because you want this on every single device possible. So if you're someone who uses your laptop a lot, let me show you some of the extensions that I've downloaded that really help you in terms of like saving your time and not going into those like, rabbit holes of just scrolling the internet and wasting hella time. So if you're someone who wants to use YouTube, but you don't want to get like addicted to it, let me show you how you can do that as well. So blocks out right here, let's toggle that off so I can access YouTube. But then now even when I type in YouTube, you can see it's blank. So a lot of the algorithm features where it's like, oh, this video is recommended to you and it's like a hella colorful thumbnail trying to get your attention and stuff like that. Mine is just blank. So now you can only use YouTube when you're actually genuinely searching something and you're much more intentional about it rather than going down the whole feed loop of just like, oh, I'm scrolling, I'm doom scrolling, and you just keep getting caught in that. And that is by doing this extension called Unhook. It basically just removes whatever you want to remove from your home feed, the sidebar. I basically just removed every single thing except the search bar. So now you can only, when I use YouTube, it's like very, very intentional. On top of that, you can put a timer called Stay Focus, which basically only gives you like a timer of like maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, however much you choose on a specific website. And when you do this, when it blocks it out, it like actually blocks it out. A lot of like the features built into your device where it's like screen time saver, it'll say like, oh, you can't access this device, but then you can just bypass it by clicking like, oh, ignore this for now. But when you do this one, it's like actually basically you can't access it for real. You can go about finding even more of these extensions on your devices if you really just do like a quick little research. And even if it might take like 30 minutes, an hour to set up, this might save literally years of your life and redirect you from like going those doom scroll sessions or wasting all the time to inshallah, doing stuff that's way more productive with your time, memorizing Quran, learning Arabic, or whatever it is.